I'm going to show you how to create a Fauvist portrait painting inspired by the work of Henri Matisse. If you're new to my channel, please support me by subscribing and be sure to check out all of the other amazing art videos, art lessons, and art tutorials on my channel, Rainbow Parrot Art. Henri Matisse was an iconic French painter whose work spans across many decades and styles. He was born in 1869 and received a formal art education as a young adult. He soon broke away from the more traditional painting methods that he had been taught and began painting in an impressionistic style, which was popular during his time. He became one of the leaders of an emerging post-impressionist art movement called Fauvism. Fauvism is a painting style characterized by rough brushstrokes and vivid, non-naturalist colors which express strong emotions. During Matisse's Fauvist painting period, which lasted roughly from 1905 to 1908, he painted a variety of portraits, still lifes, and landscapes. Beyond Fauvism, his style continued to evolve and employ bright colors and patterns. In the 1940s, he began making paper cutouts and collages, also known as découpés. Today, Henri Matisse is remembered as one of the most influential and prolific artists of the 20th century. To get started, I'm grabbing an 11 by 14 inch piece of multimedia paper and taping it to my work surface. But you don't have to tape your paper down, it's optional. Before painting, I'm going to first draw the portrait. Here's the outline of the face. Be sure to use soft pencil marks so that you can erase your mistakes. This is the giant wavy hat. If you want your portrait to look different than this, that's totally fine. Now adding the neck and shoulders. This is the outline of her fan. And this is her arm and hand. For the face, I'm adding some lips, a nose. Now drawing the eyes. Try not to worry too much if your face isn't perfect. Now adding some big, thick eyebrows. Feel free to pause here or take a screenshot if you need more time to draw. Now that I'm done drawing, I'm ready to start adding paint. I'm using acrylic paint, but you could also use tempera paint or oil paint if you want. I'm using red, yellow, and white to mix up some orange paint. Whoops, I forgot. Before painting, you may want to grab a black Sharpie and color in the eyes because this is easier than painting them. Just FYI, I'm actually painting a cropped version of the original, as you can see here. Starting with shades of orange, I'm using a small brush to add patches of color that roughly match what I see in the painting. When I want to switch colors, I first pinch my brush inside a paper towel and then gently windshield wiper it back and forth to get the extra paint off. I love this fiery red hair color. Again, I'm ready to switch colors, so I'm pinching my brush inside the paper towel and windshield wipering it back and forth. This will keep my water way cleaner and will also prevent all this paint from getting poured down the drain. Now for some splashes of yellow on the face and a little bit of peach color in these areas. Don't worry if your painting doesn't turn out exactly like this. The main thing is to try filling in your portrait with bright, contrasting patches of color. So if you can manage to do that, you're doing a great job. Now I'm ready to start adding some greens and blues. I'm filling in those dark brown eyebrows and adding a patch of dark hair. Adding some more bits of color to the face. And now I've added water to some brown paint. The watered down paint will make it easier to add a smooth outline around the edges. For the hat, I'm starting off by laying down the dark blue color first. I'm adding a patch of light yellow in the background. And now for a few different shades of blue. On the right, I'm going for a darker green color, a bit of yellow, and some light purple. While this purple paint is still wet, I'm throwing down some white paint right on top of it and allowing these colors to mix right on the paper. I'm using some darker colors to fill in around her shirt. I'm adding a few different patches of color inside the fan that she's holding. Here's a splash of pink in the background. I'm filling in the rest of the arm with green and adding some rough strokes of light blue and purple on top. I'm moving back up to the hat and throwing down some lighter blues. And a few rough patches of red. Here I'm adding some yellow and a touch of orange, which makes this pretty gold color. A bit of green and brown at the top. I'm going back around the bottom with a darker blue. If you make a mistake, you can wipe off the paint you don't want and then just add more paint on top of it. You can keep adding paint and layering the colors until you're happy with how it looks. When you're done, you can remove the painter's tape, but do it really slowly and carefully so you don't tear the paper. I hope you love how your painting turns out. Be sure to leave me a comment below and let me know how it goes. And for more awesome portrait painting techniques, be sure to check out this Picasso portrait tutorial that I made.